Good morning. How are you? Surprise! Guess who's back? So, where the hell have I been? What the hell have I been up to? That's a loaded question, isn't it? So today we're going to kind of catch up. I'm going to talk about where I've been, what I've been doing, my plans going forward, and yeah, it's been a minute. I've missed you guys. I've missed doing this, and I really am ready to get back into things. And we'll discuss kind of what happened when I disappeared again, because this was the second time I've disappeared. I am aware. I'm going to discuss things I've been doing, and yeah, going forward. So sit back and let's enjoy. So those of you that are new, hi, my name is Erin. This is Ageless Beauty with Erin, and I typically forget to do that intro, so I'm sorry. But welcome. If you have followed me in the past, you know I have a variety of things I do, including just sitting and getting ready with you, because I do have somewhere to be today, so we're going to get ready. I also have a series that I do for true crime, and I've been missing for a year. So we are going to discuss all of that, and we're going to discuss it while I do my makeup. So let's get started. First things first, I'll say a couple things. I got hair in my face. There we go. I'm probably going to clip that back too so it doesn't keep doing that. I will always put what I'm using in the comment section, so check it out. Why do I feel like my hair is just like everywhere? I do have, I won't say sponsors, but I am an ambassador for a couple brands. Do you like tattoos? Yeah, I've got some tattoo products that you'll love. Nutrition. I have really been on a nutrition and getting my life back together. And so I've got a link for some sportswear, I guess, you know, leggings, shirts, bras, that kind of thing. I do have a link and a code for discounts on those. And protein drinks and supplements. I live by them. I have not posted in a year, but I have kind of posted some of that. That's kind of been my thing. Turn the fan on. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much ruckus for you. But yeah, so where have I been? Now, I don't want to use the excuse. Okay, so if you've been with me, you know I was sick. Sick for a year. And I hate to keep using that excuse because I got better. And I tried to come back after getting better. And I did some videos. I had great intentions of going full-time back to my regularly scheduled days, right? Well, that didn't happen. And I think, for one, I was sick for a year. And I'm going to try not to use that anymore. You know I was sick. I was sick for a year. During that time, I survived. It was all about survival. It was less about living and more about survival. And I hate to say that because I did some amazing things while I was sick. I went to Mexico. I went to Jamaica. I, had some great trips, great people in my life. But still, it was a survival. So I got better. And it was just a matter of living at that point. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know how to, it's not what I want. I don't know how to make sense of it. I just had to live. I had to try to figure out what I was doing with myself. And that actually is a lot harder than it sounds. It's, when you survive for so long, just surviving, you forget how to actually live and enjoy it without thinking the 110 things that can go wrong. So this last year, it was not on purpose. Like I said, I had every intention of getting back on a regularly scheduled program. But I realized, I didn't even realize it at first. Like the first couple of months went by and I'm like, didn't even realize I wasn't recording and doing anything. And then when I did, I'm like, I'm really enjoying not doing anything. Other than I still worked my regular job. It was still crazy, chaotic. I remember back in, it's been since March of 24 since I had posted. And I remember then talking about how busy I was. Work was crazy. Work still is. That's a whole other topic. We won't get into the whole work thing. But, yeah. But I was still doing my job. I was still living. I was married, had kids, blah, blah, blah. Come on. All of us do. Not all of us. I apologize. Many of us do. And we can't use that as an excuse. But it was my escape. It was my survival. So, yeah, I just kind of disappeared and then realized that when I was doing these, it was so much. And it is. But I love it and I missed it. And at that point, it kind of hit me I needed to come back. But it took probably 10 months before I started saying, man, I wonder if I could sit down and do a video. Because obviously, I was still doing makeup every day. I was still buying products. Like, I've got a ton of product. I would love to talk to you all about it in another video. And another goal of mine is to redo this room of mine because it's a disaster right now. So please ignore the background. Goal is to get that fixed this year, my 2025 goal. And yeah, it was just so much. So that's kind of why I just disappeared. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't, I didn't even realize it at first. If that makes any sense, I just did not even realize it at first. And when I did, I realized quickly that I needed to finish taking care of me. So basically, just because I was no longer sick, just because the surgery fixed my problems and I was recovered and I was out doing things, I still wasn't in a good headspace. I still, as much as I loved makeup and doing makeup, I still wasn't in a point I could talk about it or anything really. I still wasn't listening to true crime. My headspace was still just a mess. So about 2 months ago, I started listening to true crime again. And it wasn't even intentional. It was just like, oh, look, some videos. Let's check them out. And I have been back in my true crime kick now. And I realized I had a year's worth of stuff that I needed to catch up on. So that's the start of it. I really got back into watching videos, podcasts, things that I had done regularly that I no longer did because the headspace wasn't right. And now, here we are. I'm going to try to get back into some regularly scheduled. I'm going to start first with just get readies with me, okay? We're going to start small. And I've got some looks I want to do. I've got some upcoming exciting things that I'm excited for, you know. And I'm going to do videos. I've got products that I've bought and going to be trying for you guys. New makeup I got some stuff I absolutely love. I want to show you. I'm using some of it today, but we're not going to talk about it today. We're talking about me. Welcome to my channel. No, we are. We're going to talk about where I've been, what I've been doing, and my goals moving forward. Eventually, I do want to get back into the Evil Lives Here series. It's I really like that show. I haven't watched it since March of 2024. But yeah. Now the problem with that is I have canceled my Discovery subscription, and I did it recently too, so that's kind of odd that this is coming back. But it was cheap. It was like $3, $4, $5 a month, so I'll get it back. But at the same time, it's like I've got a lot to follow up on and get back into. Now, that's enough of that. Like I said, I'm going to get back, try to post weekly, show you some looks, show you some different things. Like today's look's not going to be dramatic. I'm not even going to put lashes on. I know, gasp. But there's a reason for that. And I've been wearing lashes. My favorite lashes are literally right here. I still have a ton of stuff over here that I use. And I have a travel case that I carry everything with. So it's not like I don't wear them. I said that a lot, really fast, and I'm out of breath. But I do still wear them. But one of the things that I've started doing, and it's all part of the whole taking care of me and a whole getting back my life and supplements and proteins and exercising regularly and yeah, all of that. I now take supplements for my hair, which is a whole other story. We won't talk about that. But I take supplements for my hair, and I take like 3 different supplements for my hair. So I'm not just taking like what is it, biotin? No, I'm taking a ton of stuff, and it's working. My hair, I've been going through a little bit of a crisis, so I said I won't talk about it, but we will. I have been going through a little bit of a crisis, and it looks and feels so much better than it has in the last little while. But because of that, my lashes are literally growing like crazy. So I haven't been wearing mini lashes. It depends. Special occasions, yes. Every day out, no. Appointments for work, yes. Running to a grocery store, no. That type of thing. But today we're not. I will be, it is so beautiful now in Kentucky. I'm hoping it stays. It was yesterday, mid-60s. Today's supposed to be that or warmer. And I'm really hoping to be able to enjoy it today, and I won't be outside. So that's why this look will not be like ridiculous. Of course, as I say that, I don't know how to do a subtle eye look. I really don't. I take that back. I do, and it's usually just contour and blush. But I love my eyes are kind of my thing. I'm turning my mirror so I can get up and close and do some eyeliner. But my lashes are growing like crazy, which I will say, and I'll talk about this just a minute, the mascara I use is a serum as well. It's a rapid growing mascara, lash enhancer. I think that has helped a ton. But yeah, so we're not wearing lashes today. Okay, so back to the regularly scheduled regularly scheduled program. That's what I mean. Where have I been? And it's funny because it's been a year. And I literally had to sit down and go back through and find out what the hell have I been doing. And it's a lot. It has been a lot. I have been living. So we're going to just kind of go through and I'll talk about it. Because some of the stuff that I've done and been doing has been really cool. And I've got some really great people in my life that are by my side when I do some of these things. So I sit down, and like I said, March was the last month. And you know what? I looked at my calendar last year to get some of these events because, hello, it's been a year. I barely remember what I did yesterday. So I didn't look at March, though. Anything in March that caused me... Oh. I got a tattoo in March of 2024. Other than that, no. Which is really weird because I thought... Oh, I did. So the last video, one of the last videos I posted was my cousin's 50th, and I did that whole mohawk look. I thought I did something with my niece. It was her birthday. I don't have it on my schedule if I did. But okay, so that was March of last year. Basically, I'm sorry, I'm hitting the table. And I can't talk and do eyeliner. That hasn't changed. I'm going radio silent on you, and I apologize. So, yeah. And then I was looking in April, and I don't have anything. I can't say that I did anything in April. So April must have been the month where my brain completely just shut down. Because other than work and a lot of work appointments, I did nothing. So there you go. May. And I have it listed over here, so if you see me look away, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at my notes because it's a year. I don't like this new. It's too big. I needed a thinner one, or a narrower one. Especially on the left side. The right side's not awful. But, anyways, I digress. So, part of what I was doing to better myself was walking the neighborhood. I would do 3 miles a night. And my husband would go sometimes. My daughter went majority of the time. And then we got to the point we started taking the dogs because my corgis need the exercise, right? At this time, I would take the corgis and then potentially Talia. She's my female Pyrenees. And it would just depend. Poor Zeus couldn't go. That's a whole other story we will get into later on. But I didn't take Talia every time. It just depended. So back in May, we were taking a walk, my daughter and I. We would take the corgos. And I have Talia, or not Talia, I have Calypso. Calypso always walked with me. She was faster. And her and I walk well together. Like my daughter always tells me I'm running a marathon, which I'm not. I'm just apparently a quick walker. And then she, being slower, would take Chunk. And Bowie, he's slower, he's a little bigger. He took more time. See what I mean about my lashes? I will put another coat on. I haven't decided if I put this on or a different coat, but I digress. So, on one fateful night, we are walking, and people like to stop you and talk to you about your corgis. Excuse me. It's kind of something that we're used to. It's no big deal. And then this day, that happened. And it was our neighbors. And sitting there, and we're just, I gotta put my mirror back now. Just catching up, asking how they're doing, and they're talking about the dogs and whatever. I don't really know these neighbors that well, so we usually just kind of wave at each other and go. They walk every day, pretty much, even in the winter. So we just talked for a minute, and we were on our way. And we had gotten to the part of the neighborhood that was downhill. So we have a pretty good, it is like a mile and a half to do our whole neighborhood. So I usually do 2 laps and get my 3 miles in. I have the dogs, it takes longer, you know, obviously. So, daggone it, her name's Calypso. Calypso and I proceeded to, I forgot to do something. I was going to use that, but oh well. Proceeded to begin walking, right? That's what we're there for. We're just walking away. Bowie decides he needs to say goodbye to the couple and their dogs one more time, and he, as we're walking, decides to turn and say hello. Literally happened so fast. I didn't even know it until I'm face first in the concrete. Yeah, he had completely stepped in front of me, tripped me, and I was down for the count. And I was in misery. Like, I hit hard. So like I said, we were going downhill. I walk fast, and literally, instinctually, apparently, which I don't even remember, I went to catch myself, right? So I'm laying there, miserable. The man that we just talked to come back, asked if I was okay, and at that point my ego was like, yes, leave me, I'm good, I don't want to talk to nobody. So, you know, he made sure we were okay, and then he went on. I couldn't get up. Literally, yeah, I was stuck, and it took a little bit for me to work my way up, and it took a little bit for me to get home. We weren't that far from my house. We might as well have been in Antarctica for how painful it was for me to try to get home. There was no doubt I had to go to the emergency room. And I couldn't get up and down. Like, sitting down was awful. I couldn't change my clothes. My daughter had to change my clothes. And I was in a sports bra, obviously. I needed to get out of it because I knew x-rays were coming, whatever. Anyways, long story short, I bruised the whole side of my ribs, which is the most painful thing I've ever done in my life. Highly do not recommend. I sprained my wrist. Had to be checked for a concussion because I hit my head. Had a black eye, this whole area. And after a lot of struggle, hassle, and multiple doctor visits, it turned out I broke my elbow. So, that was fun. I was actually on vacation with my daughter when that happened. And I'll explain how that happened. So, when I go to the emergency room, they just tell me about the ribs. And the ribs, I knew the ribs. Like, I couldn't sit down and get up. It was awful. So when they brought me a wheelchair to try to take me to get x-rays and a CT scan, I'm like, I'll walk. I'm not sitting back down because I can't get back up. So they kind of looked at me funny, but they're like, whatever, you know, because they knew I was in pain. And it was awful. Needless to say, they sent me home. I sprayed all that and missed most of my face. That's why I had to go back. Anyways, they sent me home, and I was miserable. I was in a sling. And then I was not in a sling. I take that back. I was not in a sling. I had one. And for the next couple of days, whatever I did, if it was something that I needed to make sure my arm didn't move, I would put that sling on, right? Anyways, so it wasn't getting any better. I was in so much pain. Life just hurt. I went back to my doctor, and she's like, there's something wrong. Like, you should not still be in this much pain, except for your ribs. Like, I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't use my arm. I knew there was something wrong with my arm. I knew the ribs. I could deal with that. The face was pretty purple and yellow, and it wasn't healing yet, so it was mostly purple and red. And, but the arm was a problem. And I went to my doctor, and I'm like, this is not right. Thankfully, she agreed. Now, when this happened, the following week, I had a vacation already scheduled with Allie into the mountains. And my husband and even Allison were like, we can reschedule. We don't have to go. And I'm like, no, we're going. Never said I made great choices. So my doctor set up an MRI that happened to be the day that we were leaving. So I had the MRI, and we left directly from the hospital down to the mountains. And my poor daughter took care of me every day. Like, I couldn't do anything. She helped me change my clothes. She helped me do my hair. She had to help me do everything. Now, the second day we're there, I get a call from the doctor. And she's so funny. I adore my doctor. And she's like, so, good news and bad news. Bad news is you're in pain. The good news is I know why. And I was like, great. What the hell? And she was afraid originally I might have tore something and would have to have immediate surgery. But it turned out I had just broken my bone. So she's like, put the brace back on and wear it the whole time until we'll start, we'll send you to an ortho doctor. We'll start some physical therapy. So that's, the rest of my summer was spent taking care of my arm. But it didn't stop me. Like I said, I went on vacation. I actually went on another vacation in May because, hold on, that was in May. So I went on another vacation in, turn the page, June. It was a family vacation. My niece went with me, and we went to Gulf Shores. So I went to the beach, and I was still in a brace about 80% of the time. Actually, I was in a brace 100% of the time, but when I was at the beach, I did not wear it, obviously, in the sand and water. And that was fun. It was a great vacation. Chris's brother and his wife ended up going down and met. We were only there like 4 days. But other than the broken arm, it was great. I made the mistake of trying to get crab legs. Yeah. Now let me just tell you, the shit ain't easy trying to crack one hand. I spent a lot of money on crab legs because it was market value, whatever. And I bet I wasted the majority of them because I could not crack them. I just couldn't. And it's not like someone could really help you with that. I don't know. So anyways, the vacation to the beach was great. I was in a cast till the end of June. So July, I got a tattoo, and oh my God, I haven't had a tattoo since June. I know. I went March and then June and then haven't been back. And I got this really cool tattoo here. I don't know. It's an illusion, so you have to see her face and her eyes and the flowers and butterflies. very much my aesthetic. Love it. And I also got the Korean I Love You. Because if you know me, you know I won't say huge K-pop fan. I love K-pop. I'm a huge BTS fan. So, that's probably a whole nother, I could do a whole episode on that. Anyways, so that was in July, and like I was telling my daughter yesterday, we need to go back and get another tattoo. Like, what the hell is wrong with us? So, and I knew that I knew it'd been a while, and it'd been on my mind because I'm already, before I even realized it, I was already thinking about what my next tattoo would be. So, I just didn't realize it had been that long. Okay, anyways. So, anyways, I think I said that. August, I don't have anything listed. Now, September was a huge month. So I'm going to preface that by saying, again, I have the best family and friends that you can imagine. And in September, it was my husband and I's 30th wedding anniversary. Right? I mean, I'm not even old enough to be married 30 years. Anyways, so yeah, our 30th wedding anniversary. And our trip this year for our anniversary was Barbados. So we already had Barbados planned, right? And we were going to be in Barbados on our anniversary. I didn't expect anything else. Why would I? Barbados was a dream. It's kind of been our dream thing. There's a whole reason why we wanted to do it, because when we got married, we literally looked at getting married in Barbados. It didn't work out, obviously, because for one, our family and friends wouldn't have been able to go. So we didn't do it. But it was always a dream. So for our 30th, we had decided, let's do something pretty amazing, right? And that's what we did. So a week before, we are headed to Barbados. And it was actually my sister's birthday, or my sister-in-law's birthday. She's my sister. Chris comes to me on a Friday, because I wanted to go to the mall. We were still like shopping, and there was a few things I still needed. And I told him that Friday, I'm like, well, tomorrow let's go to the mall. And he's like, okay. And that was that. Then he come back a little while later. He's like, well, let's go to the mall tonight. I'm like, well, I don't care. I didn't really have anything planned. I just didn't know what he had planned, so I was going to do it tomorrow. So Casey was in the middle of something, right? So no big deal. We went to the mall, and I was looking for a jacket of some sort. And anyways, that night he comes to me and he's like, well, I wasn't going to tell you this, but I think I should so you can be prepared. Like, hell, what's he doing? He said, I got plans for us tomorrow, and I've got it all planned. It's a surprise. And I need you to wear this dress, these shoes, and get ready. He said, I wanted to tell you because I want you to be able to do your makeup, your hair, your lashes, whatever it is that you want. I want you to be able to have it done. But he wouldn't tell me anything else. I'm like, okay. He said, it's a complete surprise. I love surprises. Really, I do. So the next morning, and I asked him, what time do I need to be ready? That's important. So he told me. And so we get ready, and we head towards Cincinnati, which is where he's from and his family's from. Or his family currently lives. And I kind of figured that. Like I said, it was his sister's birthday, so I thought maybe we might be doing something with her. I don't know why it would have been a surprise for me, right? So he drives to his sister's house, and I'm like, okay. And there is this restaurant that she talks about all the time. It's an expensive place, but it's got like the best crab legs or whatever, and it's up in Indiana. And I thought, well, okay, we're taking her there for her birthday. So we pull into her driveway, and Chris is like, well, I'm going to leave you here. And I'm going somewhere else. Okay, that's odd. And I kind of said that, okay. He said, Bobby will take you and you all will meet us. Okay. And so I go in and I'm talking to Bobby. Chris doesn't even go in. He like drops me off and books. So I go in and I'm sitting there talking to Bobby, and she's giving me this whole story. I don't know what's going on. I thought maybe it was a surprise for me, but I don't know why I'm taking you somewhere. I mean, has me believing she has no idea what's going on. Has me feeling bad because it's her birthday and she had plans with her best friend, and instead she's taking me somewhere first, and she's afraid she's going to be late, and that was the whole thing. She says, and I have to blindfold you when we leave. What? Excuse me? You have to blindfold me? I mean, hello? She said, yeah, isn't that weird? I'm like, yeah, it's just a lot. And when I got there, she had to take my phone. It wasn't adding up, but at the same time, I was so clueless. Because all I could think is, it's her birthday, right? And we're leaving, like that was Saturday. We were leaving literally the next Saturday to go to Barbados. So, she's done. She's been getting ready this whole time, right? And I don't think anything of it. She has long hair, so it takes her a while when she curls it or whatever. And then I kept hearing, I'm going to be late meeting Megan, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I felt so bad. And I'm sitting there, literally in a chair. I don't have my phone, and I'm just listening to her talk. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. So when we leave, she puts the blindfold on me. She's driving, and I'm not familiar with her hometown or where she lives. Not her hometown, but it's where she currently lives. I have customers there, so I do know. And there's one place there, it's like one of my favorite places. So she's driving, and there's like this big fair type, not fair, a festival downtown where she lives. So she's taking a lot of back roads, which again confused me because I don't know anything about where she. I know how to get to my customer. I know how to get to her house. I know how to get to my favorite place, and there's a haunted house there that I know. Literally. But it's a small town, so it's not like you're going very far, right? You get off the interstate, and you're pretty much driving through town, and then blah, blah. Anyways, she does have me confused for a while. And we're driving for a bit, and she kept saying, I'm late. I'm like, why are you late? I'm so confused. Anyway, so she gets to going, and she drives. And then all of a sudden, I feel gravel where we're driving on gravel. I'm like, are we at the vineyard? She's like, I'm not telling you where we're at. And I'm like, okay. So we get there, and she tells me not to move. They're going to come around and get me, which good because I have a blindfold on. And I get out of the car. I'm gonna be done with my makeup before I'm done with what I've been doing this year. And they take the blindfold off, and my son's there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a good surprise. I knew we were at the vineyard. I knew it, and we were. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hadn't seen him for a little bit. I mean, he doesn't live far away from me, but it's his life, his busy, you know, he's busy, he works, I work, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, cool, whatever this is going on, he's here too, right? And I'm hugging him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see him. I just think he's part of the surprise. And he's like, give me your rings. Like, my rings? He says, yeah, give me your wedding rings. I'm like, and I'm like holding my hand, like, why do you want my wedding rings? You can't have my wedding rings. He says, because you're getting married today. And I went, and then I turned, and the place is full of friends and family. My husband and daughter-in-law are on this stage. My husband surprised me with a vow renewal. Yeah. And I wish I had my ring on. It's actually, I bent it and it had to be fixed. Finally got it back. And then they forgot to put little sizer beads on it, so I had to send it back, get that done, and I was going to solder them together. So I'm hoping to have them soon. They should be done anytime. But anyways, so I gave Tyler my rings. So totally overwhelmed at this point. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I do. I mean, I see what's going on. But at the same time, I don't have a clue at that moment what is going on. So yeah, anyways, my husband surprised me with a surprise wedding renewal. He had apparently been planning it with our daughter and his sister, the one that took me there, for like 15 months. And I had no idea. None. He had it all. We were at the vineyard, my favorite place. Family was there. Friends were there. He had food and an open bar. Tyler, when he took my rings, handed me a new bouquet. I mean, it was the whole thing. And Allie officiated it. Apparently for renewals, you don't have to be ordained. But I didn't know that because she had been talking about getting ordained to officiate Tyler's wedding when he gets married. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe she got ordained and didn't tell me, because I would have swore on my life, and I'd been wrong, that those two couldn't lie to me like that. So I tease them all the time. I don't trust you anymore, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, yes. So I have 2 anniversary dates now. And I tell Chris all the time, I'm like, you screwed up. I got 2 dates. You got to do it twice. But in all seriousness, it was amazing. He had his outfit, and that's why he picked my outfit. And yeah, it was a whole thing. So very surprised, very happy. I was just overwhelmed, like I shook for hours. And yeah, it was great. But so I had a surprise wedding vow renewal in September. And then, like I said, we went to Barbados, which was amazing. And Chris's sister, Bobby, and her husband went with us. They're kind of my travel people, so whenever I travel, like they went to Mexico. They didn't get to go to Jamaica with us because she was in Europe with her daughter. And, but, yeah, they're my travel people. So they went to Barbados with us. And, yeah, so September was a big month. It was a pretty awesome month. I mean, just the fact that my husband would do that. So apparently, the whole thing planned and started when we were in Niagara Falls, because I was sick when we were in Niagara Falls, and they would go eat without me. For one, I couldn't eat. I would get sick when I ate, and nobody wants to sit and eat in front of somebody that can't eat, and I don't like watching people when I couldn't eat. So I didn't go. But apparently that's where it all started, because Bobby and our daughter went with us, and they were having these dinners and started planning the whole thing. So, yeah, September was a really good month. And then, let's move on. October, I went to Conan Gray concert with Allie. Love Conan Gray. He's one of my top 4 artists, and the best part about that is there's 2 more of the top 4 that I'm going to see by the end of this year. So I'll have 3 of my top 4 artists that I've been to a concert, and that last one, BTS, is supposed to be on tour next year, 26. So I'm hoping that I'll have seen all my top artists in concert. I'm pretty excited. The other 2 concerts we'll talk about, because I'm sure I will try to do a look. And I've got 3 concerts, 2 coming up in the next month, and then 1 in the summer. So I'm sure I will. Do I need more? I don't know. Do I need it? Do I want it? It's a whole thing. Anyways, yeah, so that's fun. But we went to that, Allie and I did. Had a blast. He was amazing. So she is going to be going with me again. I have 3 concerts. Oh, that's a lot of blush. I don't need that much blush. Wouldn't have to tame that shit down. Anyways, that's what I get for building it up. I even hesitated. I should have trusted my gut. Okay. Anyway, so that was October. November, I did an overnight haunted house with my brother, his wife, daughters, and Allie. That was really fun. Went up into Ohio, spent the night at this really cool old house being renovated. So it's not, it was, part of it was redone, part of it wasn't, but it was so cool. And it depends on who you're talking to on if anything happened. So I'll just let it be that. But that was really cool. December, nothing much happened in December. I was busy at work. I got the flu, put me on my ass for a good 2 weeks. And yeah, that was that. January started out well enough. Allie's birthday's in the beginning of January, and she wanted to do an escape room. That looks much better. She had never done one, so I told her to pick 8 of her peoples that she wants to go with. Of course, they were all family. Love my daughter. She doesn't hang around with a lot of people, unless it's family, which I do too. What can I say? So, there we go. It actually, when I look here, it doesn't look nearly as bad as it does. Anyways, so we went up to Cincinnati and did this escape room. We got out. We didn't fight amongst each other. We actually had a blast. Went to eat. Excuse me. Did the whole caboodle. It was a lot of fun. And then and I'm glad for her first that it was one of those situations where none of us fought. None of us really got on each other's nerves. And we got out. And I guess a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that she picked her 8 people. I've been to one, and all of that happened. We did get out, but we fought. It was just a lot. And looking back on it, we were invited. We didn't pick our people. It has a lot to do with it. Because some of those people I didn't know, some of them I did, yada, yada, yada. Anyways. And then in January, which is still really hard for me to talk about, so I'm probably not going to talk real long about this, but we lost Zeus. He had been declining for a while, and he was, a big Great Pyrenees. I'm sure many of you that have followed me through the years have seen him, because he would show up in my videos occasionally. He would walk right up. I mean, he was tall enough he could stand right here and be in the video. He turned 12 in December. Had been paralyzed for a while. So his back legs were paralyzed. We were actually having to carry him up and down the stairs to go out back. He wouldn't get up very often. And it became a big problem when I broke my elbow, and I ended up I couldn't do it. So I got a sling, and that helped, and we would use the sling, and it helped him too, because nobody wants to be carried. And he was 135 pounds when he passed. And I say that because he lost a lot of weight too. He was a big boy. And so it was a thing. I'm still not okay with it. It's been a month now, but he was my baby. I brought him home when he was 5 weeks old. So yeah. Okay. Enough about that. And then, on a better note, what I did last, turned 50 in the 1st of February. And my friends and I, there was 8 of us total, went to Vegas for the week. And I say friends, it was all family. They are my friends. They're my travel people. And needless to say, Bobby was one of them. So it was my daughter, her friend, which I consider her a daughter, so she's family. Me and my husband. My brother and his wife got to come down for a little while. And Bobby and her husband. So we had so much fun. I mean, I had something planned almost every day, which was good because it kept us out of the casinos the whole time we were there. I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't have spent 7 days. We were there from a Friday to a Friday. I could not have spent 7 days in a casino every day. Well, okay, I was in a casino every day, but being the only thing that we did. I like that. I'm not crazy about how it applied, but I like that. It's the first time I'm using it. So, anyways, I forgot to put that over here. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. So, we started the trip. We went down on a Friday. We got there. Of course, there's 3-hour time difference, and you want to talk about messing a person up. So, we didn't do a lot that first night. Hit the casino because we were staying in part of the jockey club. It's kind of, we had, my sister-in-law has timeshare. So we stayed in the jockey club, which was in the Cosmopolitan. And our rooms were right next, or Cosmopolitan's next to the Bellagio. Our rooms had views of the fountains. That's what I'm trying to say, very badly. So it was really awesome. And so we spent the first night just kind of wandering around Cosmo, but we were in bed, their time about 10 o'clock. Back here, it was like 1 o'clock, so we did pretty good. And then the next morning, Saturday, we spent at Grand Canyon West, which was amazing. That was a lot of fun. So I'm glad we did. We spent all day there, come back, hit the casino for a little bit. Sunday, Allie showed up. We didn't really have a lot planned other than walking around. We ended up in the Bellagio and a couple other places. But we didn't really do anything. Monday, I'm trying to put all this together. We went to the Mandalay Bay Aquarium. Oh, that was really cool. It's a shark reef aquarium, which my daughter is a huge shark person, so it was really nice. And then we played putt-putt. They have a new putt-putt place in Mandalay Bay called Swingers Club. Oh, it was so fun. And we hung around the arcade because we didn't make a reservation, so we had to wait till the time slot opened. And we were there about an hour, and we played in the arcade. And then we went back afterwards. But it was a lot of fun. Then we ended up in Fremont Street that night, which you love or hate Fremont. It depends. I don't mind it. My daughter really likes it. My in-laws, so my brother-in-law loves it. My sister-in-law can get, give or take, don't matter. Kind of like how I am. My husband hates it. So we only ended up in Fremont one night while we were there. We did Tuesday night a magic show. We went to Shin Lim. Loved it. Oh my God, Allie and I are still talking like, how did that happen? What did they do? It was so good. Wednesday was my birthday. And it was a good day. We started it at, now I don't know, I've been calling it the Arte Museum. I don't really know if that's how they pronounce it. It's A-R-T-E. My brother and his wife showed up that day. And we had rented a car, obviously, because we went to the Grand Canyon. So we picked them up and whatever, and we went to the museum, went to eat. And then we had some time. We kind of hung out at the casinos and got changed. I had reservations for dinner. And then we did karaoke. I rented a private karaoke room. Dude, it was so much fun. Everybody, my brother and his wife were pretty exhausted at that time, so they're the only ones that didn't get up and sing, and that's okay. He had actually told us he wasn't going to anyways, but he's not a singer. I mean, he'll sit back and sing, because I tease him all the time. I said, oh, so you do sing. But anyways, a lot of fun, great time. I mean, such a great time. Thursday, we went to Cirque du Soleil. Oh, amazing. And then Friday, of course, we spent the day at the casino, did a couple things, packed up and had to leave and got home Friday night. I bet I wasn't in bed till 3:30 Saturday morning. It was crazy, but it was a great trip. I'm glad we did it. Like I said, I didn't mind turning 50 in my life. Not even counting this last time where I was sick and everything went to hell. I've had a lot of things go on. And the fact that I am celebrating 50 is amazing. So I wanted to do it, and I want to do it in style. And we had so much fun. So much fun. So that has been my year in review. Some good things, some bad things, some hilarious things, some amazing things. And I feel like I am back to myself. I feel, like me. And that's amazing, because me loves true crime. Me loves sitting and talking to myself on the video. Me loves hanging with people, doing things, and living. Not surviving, living. So that's the plan. I'm going to slowly get back. I'm going to be doing some videos. I've already got them planned. I've already got a list. Got it going. Just got to do it. But, yeah, that's the plan. Like I said, eventually, maybe give me a month, maybe 2, to get back into a rhythm. And then I will start trying to get back into Evil Lives Here. I know a lot of you guys liked that, and so did I. So, anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for letting me just ramble and talk and catch up with you guys. If you have any suggestions, anything you'd like for me to do a video on, let me know. Put it down in the comments. I'm always interested to hear. All my contact information on my pages are listed below. The makeup that I use, my codes for the products that I am an ambassador for. Hit them up. Good codes, good discounts. If you want personal recommendations on things, let me know. I'm a girl. I will tell you honestly what I love and what I don't love, and what works, what doesn't work, and how it affects me. So, until next time, guys, I love you. Thank you. Again, I apologize for disappearing. I won't do it again. And until next time, goodbye.